Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals. Welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week I am planning the week of the 10th of February 2025 in my A5 wide Tilly Journals My Shop inserts, and I am using this Love Brunch kit from Caress Press with art by Dusk, I believe. And I'm using a Caress Press foil bundle with it as well in pink, which is super cute. I do have some extenders on just the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And what else? I don't really know what else there is to say about the base. I finished 3 books this week and we did lots of DIY. So that's kind of all I have to say about that. Underlay wise, I am using the underlays from the kit plus the concentric circle underlays from my shop. I did have to cut up some of the Caress Press underlays because there were only 8 of them, and because I had some extenders. As I am mid-yawn, I am going to say in advance that I apologise if I cough, sneeze, sniff, yawn during this video. Basically, I am full of a cold. I seem to be getting them constantly at the moment with being pregnant and still being at work and stuff, but hopefully I'll get over them soon. I've only got a week left at work at the recording of this video, and yeah, so there's that. I think that's all I've got to say about the base, so let's get into the books that I read this week. I finished 3 books this week and we're going to go from worst to best because why not? So the first one I'm going to talk about is Bonding with Your Bump, and this is by Miriam Stoppard, and I gave this half a star, which I think kind of summarises how I felt about it on its own. So I'm just going to read my review word for word because I don't think I can say it better than this. This is not about a book about bonding with your bump. This is a standard pregnancy book, and an outdated one at that. I really would not recommend. There's a lot of out-of-date advice and really questionable statements. I honestly would worry if someone used this as their main source of information for pregnancy. Skip it and pick up something more modern. Love being told that my chronic clinical depression is affecting my child already. Maybe I should just be happy. The doctor writing this is a retired dermatologist, just for your information. You have autonomy during pregnancy and labour. Having depression does not doom your child for their entire life. Do not believe a lot of what this book spouts. I can't say it better than that. I wrote that review honestly, and that's what I have to say about the book, really. So let's move on to happier books, both of which are fiction. And the first one that I'm going to talk about, I gave 4 stars to, and this was How to Kill Your Family, and this was an audiobook. So this is about Grace, who's murdered 6 members of her family and found herself in prison for a murder she didn't commit. Take a step inside her written account of everything that led to this point. So this ended up with 4 stars because I really enjoyed most of it, but the ending / last few chapters really annoyed me, and I just didn't like it. So it went from like a 5-star book to a 4-star book just because of that. Most of the book is cynical, filled with dark humour and laugh-out-loud sentences. You wouldn't think a book about murdering people was funny, but it actually is. It reads like a true crime diary at times, even though it's totally fictional, and I really loved that aspect of it. It was just as if you were inside Grace's brain, her mind, and could strangely understand her actions at times, which felt a bit weird, like in the mind of a serial killer. I don't know. As others have said, I actually think I was rooting for Grace at points, which is a bizarre thing to say about a murderer. Like, other people's reviews say that as well, so I know it's not just me, but like, I feel uncomfortable saying that sentence. And again, I know I'm not the only person to say this in my review, but the ending just didn't fit with the story, and it really ruined the story arc for me. We don't need to introduce new people with a few chapters left. It's overall worth a read, and the audiobook is a really good listen. It's like a really nice one, and it really made me feel like I was just inside Grace's brain. So yeah, that is the second book I finished this week. Then on to the final book I have to talk about this week, which is The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue, and this was a 5-star read for me. This was recommended by my sister and is one of my 25 in 2025. It's really nice that I had one of those that's a 5-star. So this is about Julia Power, who's a midwife in Dublin in 1918 during the height of the flu pandemic. and of course the war. She ends up as head nurse over 2 days, where we join her for her care of expectant mothers who have the flu. With her is her new volunteer Birdie, and at times a female doctor called Kathleen. I wouldn't advise reading this when you're expecting a baby. Okay, I'm going to put that out there first. And I read this whilst expecting a baby, obviously, didn't I? There are some graphic accounts of birth and complications, and I really would read the trigger warnings before picking up this book, because if you've had a traumatic birth, it might not be the book for you. That being said, it's raw, it's real, it's heartbreaking at times, and it's hopeful at the same time. It's absolutely fantastic. I loved the ending, and I kind of wondered whether we might end up there or somewhere similar, and I was glad that that's how it went. It really is an emotional story. Expect to cry at least one point. There's quite a lot of things that could potentially cause tears, and it's remarkable to think that this was written pre-pandemic, because as a doctor who worked in a hospital during COVID-19, there are similar ways and things that happened, which is just terrifying and fascinating. We're over 100 years later. Like, what? Also, the irony that this was written just before the pandemic. There's actually an author's note near the end that's like, I can't actually believe the pandemic started, because this was a flu pandemic. I loved Julia and Birdie. I loved how they interacted. I loved Julia's humanity and her ethics, particularly when it came to the doctor, as well as her opinion on things that were done by the Catholic Church to children Catholic Church to children, or including Birdie, was what I was trying to say. It's weird that a book that was so upsetting, I'm giving 5 stars, but I really think this book deserves it. And what's more, it's not something I would necessarily have picked up. I'm not a big historical fiction person, so it makes it even more special to me that I want to give it 5 stars when it's not a book I would normally have picked up. But yeah, my sister recommended it. She's got good taste in books, so that's all I can really say about that. So I am actually, I feel like I'm actually in a pretty good place for where I'm at in the video and stuff, which is nice. I'm just putting down the boxes. I feel like I'm never this far ahead, so I'm like, ooh, I don't know what to do about this. So I am gonna get into the day by day, although I am going to be a bit ahead of myself, but I think that's probably the right thing to do, because again, I do like to chat about the day by day, and I do get distracted at times, so I go off on massive tangents. So let's just get into it. As I marked in the sidebar, the highlight of the week was getting lots of DIY progress done, and we will talk about that when we get to Saturday particularly. So to start off with, on Monday I actually read some of Bonding with Your Bump, and then I had an appointment with my care co Rebecca. I was actually still not very well this day. If you watched my last plan with me, I had a really bad gastroenteritis bug, and I still wasn't really very well, and I was absolutely exhausted. This was meant to be a shared appointment with my care co from the perinatal team, but she is off sick at the moment. So it was just Rebecca, and we ended up doing something else, and she was like, I'll be as quick as I can, because clearly you are not with it fully. So it was a fine appointment. We just went over my safety plan a little bit and things. Then I had a nap because I was knackered after that appointment, and then I had my planning call with Sophie. We did move it this day. We normally do it at a certain time, but we have to move it every so often because of appointments and things. But yeah, after my nap, I did do some after the call, I did do some Instagram scheduling, and then I went for another nap. As I say, I still was not very well. I actually called in sick on the Tuesday to work because I wasn't really well enough to be at work at all. After my nap, I did some editing and did some crochet. Shockingly, again, I did not go to Guides or Ranges this week because I did not want to give anybody this bug, because it was pretty rough and horrific. On to Tuesday, started the day off with a lie-in, again, which I could do because I was off sick. Then I did some design work, I think, for my February releases, and then I did some voiceovers for videos. As from being ill, I've just been really behind on editing videos and stuff this month, so it is now the 2nd of March when I'm recording this voiceover, and I'm still, even after this voiceover, I'm still one video behind where I'd like to be with editing, and it's not going to happen because it's quite late in the evening and it's not happening today, so it's going to have to get done another day. Anyway, after that I did some of my hypnobirthing course. I am doing a course by the Birth Uprising, and I really get on with that. Like, I really like their style. They do swear and they are like raw and real, and that resonates with me. I know it doesn't resonate with everybody, but I would really recommend a hypnobirthing course if you're pregnant, and this is the one I have chosen to go with. Then I did lots and lots of tidying, and then I read the rest, I believe, of Bonding with Your Bump, and was being very cynical to Soch during the last little bit. On to Wednesday, started the day off with some odd jobs. That basically means I did bits and pieces and like lots of little jobs, none of which like warrant marking their own thing, but like it takes some time, so odd jobs. Then I stick in my journal. I do pre-stick up my journal, which is my long form journal, to make it pretty, so I'm tempted to actually go into it every day. I was not feeling very happy. I was quite in my feelings this day, I think because I've been ill for so long and I just wanted to get on with things, and I was just really, really fed up. So there was that. And then I did some memory planning in my off-camera planner because I love my off-camera planner, and I did lots of planning in it while I was poorly. It was just a nice, like, chill, easy thing to do. After that I did some crocheting and had snuggles with my husband because he had the bug as well, so we'd just both been like, ugh. I was feeling quite a lot better by this point, so I did do just some designing, and then I went to pregnancy yoga, which I don't think I could have done the day any of the other days, but I was feeling much better this day, so that was good. So on Thursday I went to work. I went for my growth scan, and because my last growth scan had been within 2 weeks, it was 13 days before this, they couldn't do a growth scan. They just checked the umbilical blood flow and things, which were all fine, but yeah, it was a bit of a pointless scan. And then I saw the gestational diabetes midwife, who was happy with my sugars and all was good. It was very simple, easy appointment. My blood pressure was fine, my urine was fine, yeah. Then for some reason we managed to like discharge most of our patients, and at one point during this day we only had 3 inpatients, which is ridiculous. Like, we normally have 10 to 15 at least, probably 10 to 20 usually, so it was remarkable. So I actually sat and did a load of portfolio, which was good because I had a portfolio deadline that I did not realise I had the following Monday. I do realise in time, but yeah, there was that. After work it was the division meeting, which is a like a section of Girl Guiding, which is a few towns. For us it's like a few towns locally to us, like within like about half an hour of where we are, and my mum is division commissioner, so she leads the meeting, so yeah, there was that. Then I walked home to get some steps in and finished off the day with some crochet. On to Sunday. Sunday was Valentine's Day, hence the Valentine's kit. I was at work and I was just in my feels. I think I just was really struggling with life this week because of like not feeling very well and just basically. When I got home from work I did put on my nails, and then I went for a walk to get my steps in. We opened our gifts to one another, which was really nice. We do little gifts. We kind of do joint ones for our anniversary, which is the 9th of February, and like that's our dating anniversary and Valentine's Day. And then we finished the day with some cuddles because it was Valentine's Day, and although we didn't really celebrate, we wanted to do that. So on Saturday I was back at the hospital for the actual growth scan, but on the way we went to B&Q to look at some paint colours and got some paint swatches to make the decision about what we're calling our craft room. So it's got Sochan's craft beer stuff in and my crafting things in. So yeah, after B&Q we did have the growth scan. Baby is growing all well, about on the 25th centile, which was nice to know. We popped into Next to return some stuff for my mum, but also pick up some stuff for my mum, and also we just had a little look around ourselves for some baby stuff and some sheets and things like that. So that was next. And then when we got home, had DIY day with my parents. Me and my mum cleaned out the craft room and started prepping the floor for underfloor heating. We actually got far enough and got the underfloor heating mats down, and I was super happy with how much we had got done that day. It was really impressive to me. And then I've just marked in that I was really tired. It had been a really long day, but I did finish the day with some designing. On to the Sunday. This was the day I realised about my portfolio. So I started off the day by folding all of our laundry, which had been up for far too long and was ready to come down. I designed some scripts, and then I was working on my portfolio for absolutely ages. Did lots and lots of that, and then texted my supervisor like, it's ready for you, sorry. Then we went and did some grocery shopping and ordered the paint after we'd looked at the paint swatches from the day before. I was just in my feels because I had wanted to get some other stuff done this day and I hadn't. I just only got my portfolio done really. But we did have a nice date night, and we had an at-home date night. We started building our Pac-Man Lego, and then we played some of A Way Out, which is a prison escape game, which is very good. I would recommend. Then we had some cuddles and we had some adult time. So that was our little Valentine's date night, at-home date night, and I love how this spread came together. I love all of the colours. I think it's really nice with the orange and the blue and the pink. Here are my leftovers and things like that, and yeah, that's kind of it for this video. You do get actually quite a lot of wiggles and stuff, basically because I recorded it all wrong, and so I've kind of tried to splice it together in a way that works. But yeah, thank you for watching, comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!